I know exactly how it feels when you're scrolling through endless listings for a garage car lift, wondering if you're about to waste a few $1,000s on something that won't actually fit your needs. You've probably already imagined the whole setup, the extra height, the safety concerns, and the sheer weight of the equipment itself. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, and I'll try to make that decision a little clearer for you. First off, the biggest hesitation most people have is whether the lift will actually accommodate the vehicles they own. If you drive a full-size truck, a lifted SUV, or you're the kind of hobbyist who likes to work on classic cars with low ground clearance, the extra tall and extra wide dimensions matter. This MutsMover model promises an 84-inch maximum height and a 12-foot width between the posts, which is enough room to pull a 2022 F-150 onto the platform without scraping the bumper. For someone who stores a sedan and a small truck side by side, those dimensions might feel excessive, but they also give you the flexibility to add a second vehicle later. Capacity is another red flag for many buyers. The 11,000-pound rating isn't just a marketing number, it actually lets you lift heavier pickups and even a small bus without worrying about overloading the hydraulic system. The 3.0 HP hydraulic motor, running on standard 110-volt power, provides the muscle to raise that weight in a matter of seconds, which is crucial if you're swapping tires or doing suspension work regularly. In my experience, a lift that struggles to get up to speed quickly becomes a safety hazard because you're forced to linger under a partially raised vehicle. Safety locks are where the rubber meets the road, literally. This lift comes with 4 mechanical locking devices, one at each corner, that engage automatically once the platform reaches the set height. That means if the hydraulic pressure were to dip for any reason, the lock holds the platform steady. It's a comfort you only notice when the opposite happens, when a lift lacks a lock and you hear that unsettling click as the car begins to drop. For a home garage where you might not have a second set of eyes watching, that mechanical redundancy is worth the extra cost. The steel structure is powder-coated Q345, a grade that resists rust and chips better than the thin-gauge steel you see on cheaper lifts. I've seen a few budget lifts develop surface rust after just a season in a damp garage, which eventually leads to weakened joints. The powder coating on this model keeps the finish intact even after you've moved it around with a forklift during installation. That durability translates to a longer service life, so you're not replacing the lift every few years. Installation is where the practical trade-offs start to surface. The lift is shipped in large sections that need a forklift or a small tractor to unload. If you don't have that equipment, you'll have to hire a professional to bring it into the shop, which adds a hidden cost you might not have considered when you first saw the price tag. The manufacturer does include 2 drip trays and a jack tray, which helps keep fluids off the garage floor, but you'll still need to allocate a clear, level space of at least 1,210 feet to assemble the frame and run the hydraulic lines safely. That's a lot of real estate for a standard one-car garage. Power requirements also deserve a mention. The 110-volt motor is convenient for most residential setups, but you'll need a dedicated circuit to avoid tripping breakers when the lift is engaged. If your workshop already runs a lot of equipment, air compressors, welders, or a 3-phase motor, you might need to upgrade your panel. That's another cost factor that can catch first-time buyers off guard. Now, who should actually consider putting this lift in their space? If you run a small auto repair shop, own a collection of heavy trucks, or you're a DIY enthusiast who likes to work on multiple vehicles at once, the combination of high capacity, generous height, and robust safety locks makes it a solid investment. The extra width lets you swing a long wheelbase vehicle onto the platform without the tires hanging off the edge, which is a frequent frustration with tighter lifts. For people who frequently change tires, do brake work, or need to get under the chassis for suspension upgrades, the hydraulic speed and stability are genuine time savers. Conversely, if you only own a compact car and you're looking for a lift to simply raise it for oil changes, this might be overkill. The space it occupies could be better used for storage or a workbench, and the upfront cost plus the potential installation fees might not justify the capacity you'll never use. Renters, or anyone without a permanent garage, should also think twice. Moving a 2-ton lift in and out of a rented space is not practical, and most landlords will balk at the structural modifications needed for a permanent installation. In terms of weaknesses, the biggest practical one is the size and the delivery logistics. The need for